we had a resident that came up here and she spoke about how I took her words and statements out of context. So I thought I would just read the email that I received so the public knows the context that I received. And so here I go. And she's addressing it to the other two members who were at the meeting. And apparently somebody must have asked the question, what's the big deal? So she says, I know what the big deal is. The meeting we ended up having with Art Finn on Thursday was completely inappropriate, and I am upset and ashamed by my participation in it. If we were unhappy with Art's performance, or any city employee's performance, the appropriate and honorable way to handle it is to take our concerns to the city manager, Matt Spohr, not the employee in question. I had a meeting scheduled with Matt today at 3 p.m. concerning a certain program. At the beginning of the meeting, I asked if I could talk with him briefly after the meeting, and he graciously consented. At that time, I sincerely apologized for my role in our meeting with Art. I told him I was sure that the meeting left Art feeling ambushed and threatened. Matt confirmed it was so. I told Matt that this was never my intent when I agreed to meet with you to organize our thoughts for our meeting with Matt, or when we decided to ask Art to join us to discuss the trees on the property at 580 and 590. But the meeting with Art very quickly went off the rails, and afterward, I felt sick at heart about it. During my meeting with Matt, he was able to answer my questions and quell many of my concerns. I don't plan on coming to a separate meeting they have planned. I do plan to apologize to Art in person, as I did to Matt. I tried to do so after my meeting with Matt, but Art had already left the office. I will try again tomorrow. As for Matt, he is doing what he should be doing, what any good employer would do. He is standing up for an employee he believes in and has full confidence in, who was mistreated by members of the public. Those are not my words. Those are the words of somebody that was in the meeting, that helped arrange the meeting. And to that I just say, thank you for apologizing and giving a sincere apology, because I think it's important to admit wrongdoing. Given that over a week had passed without receiving any apologies from anyone else, I thought it was appropriate to speak out against this, since there appeared to be no remorse from the other two individuals. And I did speak out about it. With that said, I had a meeting today with one of the other individuals involved in this. There was a meeting here in City Hall with just me, her, the city manager, and the director of HR. And her version of events are quite different than the account given by our city arborist in a memo and in an interview that he gave to the city manager and the director of HR. They're a lot more consistent with the tone of this email, though, which talks about him feeling threatened and ambushed. So with that, I place this agenda item on tonight's meeting, and I open it up for any further discussion that the commission may have.